Today we're going to look at building and deploying searches in GeoSync GO Plus. We will be using the latest addition to the GeoSync Go family of products. As I mentioned, GeoSync GO Plus. As with the other applications, this is iOS, Android, and Windows friendly. The web-based map designer, you can capture points, use custom field forms, view and link media, have Trimble GNS receiver integration. A lot of things going on here. Today, what we'll look at, as we mentioned, is deploying searches. The first thing you'll need, obviously, is the application. That's available in a couple of forms. One, you can actually install the app on download it and actually install the app on iOS, Android, or Windows. The other option is to use a browser. We do recommend a Chrome for this. The web address is geosyncgo.com/go. That is the web-hosted application. Of course, you do need an internet connection for that. Once you have the application installed, or go to the web app, when you first open the program, you'll see the main sign-in screen, where you will, in this case, to access the account management tools, you will need a user login. So you will require a username and a password. Once you hit sign in, you will see the project screen where you can select a project to open. But for today's webinar, we are looking at the management tools, so you will want to select the account option. This takes you to the account tools. There are multiple tools, as you see, in the account management. Today we are looking at the searches. Customized. You can customize searches. You actually select a source, a data source, pick a field and a filter for the search. So once you select from the screen, you'll see a searches group. You select the searches. If your device is a landscape configuration, say on a laptop, it will take you directly to the searches. If not, if you are on a tablet or a phone that's something that has more of a portrait style screen, you got an extra step there. You would have to go to the menu selection at the top left. Then you'll have a list of the tools where you would select searches. There's two different views there depending on the device that you're using. Once you select searches, you'll see the main search tool management screen. In this case, we have no searches at all. We basically have no list of searches. So our only option is to create a new search. In selecting the search button, you will get a blank search screen specifically for the search that you want to create. Totally empty, ready to start. First, you'll want to select a name for your search, and this can be anything you want. It can be, in this case, I've entered address. It could be address search, address points. You can have spaces in the name. This is actually the name that will display in the application under searches to select. So you want something that describes the search. Not too long, obviously, but the next thing you'll want to do is select a data source. Now, in this case, we're not going through setting up data sources, but any data source that you've added to your account is available in this drop-down. And you can create a search for any of the data sources, individual searches. You drop down, select a drop-down here, select a data source. In this case, I've got a point layer that the source's name is structures. This data source has all the address information in it. The next thing you'll want to do is select the field that you want to search on, and we're using the address field because it has the full address for each of the points. And next you don't have to, but you can select a display field. You could stop there and just have a search on the address. When you actually initiate the search, you will get a result list, and the display field will allow you, if you add display fields, it will also display other information about that result. So if I found an address for 100 MapSync Boulevard, I can also have it display the place name and the parcel ID for that location. Or we can stop there if you want. Another option, you may want to filter that search. In this case, I've gone in and added a filter of road name on the road name field. So I select the road name field, and my operator will be equal, and then my value I've typed in Blazer Parkway. So, and then I click the add button, it adds that filter to the list. So in this case, I've filtered this down to only addresses on Blazer Parkway. So if I search for something on MapSync Boulevard, it will not find it. So this is actually a filter to narrow down the features or the results of the search. You can take that a little farther if you want and add another filter. In this case, I've gone to road name again, equal to Richmond Road, add that to the list. So I have my filter now is road names equal Blazer Parkway or road name is Richmond Road. So the only results that we will get will be searches on Blazer Parkway or Richmond Road. You have the option, you could change this to and, so it wouldn't work in this, but it would be only addresses that have Blazer Parkway and Richmond Road in it. So in this case, I've obviously used or because we either want addresses on Blazer Parkway or Richmond Road. Another option to this, if you have a city field for your addresses, maybe I only want to search for addresses in MapSync Village. I can say city name equal MapSync Village. Then the only addresses that we search will be those within MapSync Village that have an attribute of MapSync Village in the city name. Once you set your search, all the settings for your search that you want, you do have to save this. The save button is at the bottom right here. Once you click save, it will take you back to the main search screen. Here you will see a list of the searches that you created, that you set up or configured. In this case, we only have one. You can have multiple searches. We could be searching on addresses. We could search for parcel owners or water valves or basically any data source that you have in your account. Now, the data source of the searches can be created for any, as I mentioned, any of the data sources. It doesn't necessarily have to be a layer that's in your project. In your account, a data source that you've created in your account can be utilized for a search to build a search, and that search can be used in any project. So speaking of projects, the next thing we need to do is assign our search to a project. And that we will use another the management tool, the projects tool, where you create, manage, and edit your map projects. To do that, we select the projects menu. From there, you'll see a list of all the projects that you have. These are all separate map projects that are in my account. In this case, I want to add this search to my MapSync Village map project. So I select MapSync Village and then select Edit. Then I will have my menu for my MapSync Village project, where I'll select the Searches option. Below that, there's a drop-down list where it will list all of the searches that I've configured in my account. I select the address search, click the Add button. It adds the address search as a search in my project. At this point, same as with any other tool, we select Save. Save the search or the project setting. Now that address search has been added to my MapSync Village map project. At this point, I'll want to actually go and check that out. I want to test my search, make sure everything's set up the way I wanted in the right project. So from here, I'll use the context menu, the three buttons at the top right, click Home. From there, we'll go back to our main screen, our sign-in screen. In this case, we'll actually want to select a project. Remember, when we started, we went to the account. That's where all of our settings are. So at this point, we'll want to select the project. This is MapsynC Village. That'll take us to our project. We can select. At this point, we'll have a new menu item, Searches, since there is a address search there. If you do not have an address search assigned to a project, when you open the project up, you will not see a Searches item. But now that we have our address search, this menu item is here. We can select it, and then we'll see a list of all the searches that we've created. For now, we only have one. We have the address search. I click Address. Once I do that, I'll have a blank text box here. I can type in my address, hit Enter, Return. Then I'll get a list of the results for that search. For this search, I only have one result, and that's 3250 Blazer Parkway. I select it. The map zooms to that location and marks it. You also get an identifier details of that location as well. If I had set this the search up to show additional information, say the location name, or the place name, the parcel ID, that would show up here. Those items would show up here as part of this record for Blazer Parkway. It would say CDP Engineers and the parcel ID. That information will be available as well. I just elected not to say that. And that's it for searches. Thank you again for joining us. Have a great day.